Ashwini Somnathe from KBP College Vashi, and our today's topic is about software testing. So the outlines of today's sessions are what software testing is, why we need a software testing, and the quality and the various types of quality too. We'll see the verification and validation model that we can call as a V model also, and the difference between verification and validation. Then last is types of testing. There are various types of testing. We will see some of them. So what is software testing? Then first we should know about what testing is. The testing is a process of evaluating a particular product to determine whether the product contained any defect. If it is a defect in that product will be a faulty product. Then what is software testing? It's a process of evaluating a system by manually or automatic means and to verify that it satisfied the specific requirement, the requirement which specified by the customer or a system or an organization, or identify the difference between expected and the actual result. So it's a method to check whether the actual software product matches the expected requirement and ensure that the software product is defect free. So it involves the execution of software components using manual or automatic tool. For manual testing, test cases kind of things are available. And for automation testing, so many software tools are available. Open source tools are available which you can download and we can work on that. Or else we have to purchase some softwares for automatic for load testing or some other testing on the software. So why do we need a testing? The very first and the main thing is to find out a defect or a fault in a testing or a fault in a software. It helps to reduce the fault in a component or a system. It check whether the product is fit or whether the product is quality product or not. To check if the system does what it is expected to do, expectations which defined in a specification by the customer, increase the overall quality of a system so that customer will get satisfied. To reduce the risk and a milestone, that is a deadline or target, at the earliest stage of an earn a more profit. So a human error can cause a defect or a failure at any stage of a software development lifecycle. The result are classified as a consequences of so many errors, and because of that only the what expected software which we defined at the very first planning stage, which not the end product, what actual product we are expecting at the time of deployment, that product is will may not be a that product what customer was expected. So to verify before the deployment of that software, we need to go for testing things. So in the organization only we will get to know about what exactly issue will come after deployment or maybe running the product. So for that only, for the customer satisfaction, for the quality of that product, testing is necessary. So what is exactly quality means? So meeting the customer requirements in the first time and every time. That is the quality. So customer is the king. Whatever the customer expecting from that software or whatever the customer specifications for the software given to the organization, that should be fulfilled. And the end product. That is only define the quality of that product. If the customer is not satisfied, it means the product is not the quality product. Much more that the absence of defects. Less failures or defect-free software is the quality software. That's it. Allow us to meet the customer expectation. Right? So there are two kinds of quality in a software testing. We can this two way only we can find out the quality in software in a software testing. It means so the very first is quality assurance and another one is quality control. Okay, so quality assurance is process oriented and it is defect prevention. So it means before getting a fault, need to prevent first, right? And then quality control is product oriented, and defect detection. Defect detection, it means if there is some fault or there is some error or a bug in the software that can detect in the quality control. And quality assurance, the fault should not happen or should not be there in the software. For that prevention only, this quality assurance thing will be done. So quality assurance is completely documentation concept, and quality control is fully testing concept. The actual testing things will be done in a quality control only, and the documentation testing things will be covered in a software in a quality assurance. So we will see the diagrammatical representation of what quality assurance and quality control is. So quality assurance is nothing but a quality assurance is nothing but a verification process. It's a verification process because it's completely documentation process. So how we will done the verification? So there are few types through that they can verify the document, or through that they can verify the phases of software development lifecycle. The very first thing is walkthrough, inspection, or review. Review may be a body review or it may be a review, peer review. Okay. Walkthrough is not planned. It just a team will come and just check the document. Is inspection is a planned action. Uh, a team is defined. They will give the dates and a target. On that day, they will inspect the documentation. Review is just like a peer review. You can ask your colleague to check the document. Are they correct or not? So this is how actual things will go on in organization. Then next is quality control. It's a process of validation. So there are two way of doing the testing. So validation process nothing but a completely testing process. What the software testing actually done, that is nothing but a validation process. This is a theoretical word. So there are two ways, that is low level testing and high level testing. That's what you have to remember for the quality or the validation thing. So so we will see what is the high level testing and what the low level testing is. So there is a functional testing and user acceptance and system testings. Functional testing is depend upon, it's nothing but how the software are functionally working. That testing will done in a functional testing. There are several types also. We will see later on. Then user acceptance. So this is the process. This is a process of testing will done at the time of deployment. Okay, there are two ways, that is alpha testing and beta testing. This is also we will see in the same session. Then the low level testings are depend upon the unit testing and integration testing. You just need to remember this. This all topic will be covered in the same session. So this is about a verification and validation model. This is actual diagram of verification and validation model. So this is nothing but we can call as a V testing concepts. Okay, that V stand for verification and validation both. So it is a continuous testing throughout the software development lifecycle, and it need to plan the testing activities parallel with the software development lifecycle. It means parallelly it will go on. Like once we start about the software development planning things and all, at the same time the testing will be done. So then it helped to identify needs of planning and designing of testing in an earlier stage of development process. Left arm of the V module is a conventional waterfall model. This is nothing but a conventional waterfall module. The right arm of the V module, this is like this one. It's corresponding to the testing methodology required to each phases of development. So this is actually a software development life cycle. So this is a model of software development life cycle is a reference model. So this is, we can consider it as a waterfall model. So we know about this. The very first stage of software development lifecycle is user requirement. Okay, here only the customer will define what actual expectations he has. As per that, only the requirement will be defined. Then software application. Here the actual development of actual designing or things will be planned over here. Then high level designing, then detailed designing, and then comes to coding. So you able to see this line directly parallel with the acceptance testing, system testing, and integration testing, and the unit testing. So what it means actually, the user requirements are defined that compare with the acceptance test plan. That is acceptance testing. It means this requirement only get if the requirement get fulfilled, then only the acceptance testing will be pass, right? If the requirements is not match with the acceptance of the software or the customer, then these things will be fail, right? So requirement is completely map associated with the acceptance testing, right? Because the requirement concepts is completely depend on the customer only, right? Whatever the customer define the requirement, as per that only the product will be designed and the product will be developed. So this obviously directly map with the acceptance testing. So acceptance testing, I told you about that. The acceptance testing is done at the time of deployment. So obviously they will match the requirement of customer. Then software application, here what the actual development will start. है ना? Then testing, system test plan, that what kind of system will be done or component testing will be happen over here. System testing is nothing but a component testing or a other thing test that system is working properly or not in any environment, and its compatibility, usability will things will be done in a system testing things. Then high level design testing, it's a integration testing. Integration, it means it itself means whole structure will be designed. Planning will be done with this phase. It's a verification phase. We can see this is a verification phase, and this is a validation phase. Integration testing is nothing but a testing of whole product, and how the testing will be done, that will be planned in this phase only, and that planning should meet in the testing report of integration testing. Whatever we are planning in this phase, that planning should meet that value, that actual value should meet with in a this integration testing. Then detailed design, it's a unit testing plan. Unit testing just means it's a component kind of testing only. Like, if suppose I can give an example, like suppose we are planning for to test a Gmail, the page of Gmail, login page of Gmail. So if we are testing whole page of that login page, it means we are doing the integration testing. And if we are just checking the username and or a password or a submit button, it means we are testing about the that small portion of that whole model. So the testing of small models in a complete project, that is nothing but a unit testing. And the testing of whole model, whole project, it's nothing but a integration testing. So I hope you understand this. Then actual testing will done, that is this. Okay, so we can say this now, this is a part of quality control, and this is a part of quality assurance. This is all about the verification and validation model. In what is actually what actual difference between the verification and validation, that we will see. The very first difference in this model, we can see that verification address the concern, are your prod are you building a right product? Okay, so here what we already saw about the inspection and walkthrough and pre reviews. Now through that only they will get to know about this. Are we doing right, building a right product? This answer they will get in this three um, three things. Okay, so when the team will check the documentation and they will do inspection or review. At that time only they will get to know the answer of this question, that are we building a right product or not. Okay. Then the validation address the concern. Are you build a right thing? It means what we are detecting. So we are here, we will get to know that the product we created or made, that product is a right product or not. It means if the product meet the customer requirements, it means the product is right product, right? So here only they will verify the things through the requirement. Okay. Then next is ensure that the software system meets all the functionality. Okay. Ensure that the software system meets all the functionality. The uh, what planning or designing they did or structure they made, all things will be the same as the customer expected, the functionality what the customer expected. Okay. Now they ensure that the functionalities meet the intent behavior. Okay. Here they will plan about the functionality, that submit button should be there or something should be blink and all, right. So here they will check that is it that button is working or not, or the things are blinking in a which color and all, and all these things will be ensured or validate in the in this phase or validation phase. Here they will get the actual result. Then verification take place first and includes the checking for documentation and code. So I told you about that. Again, I'm saying the same thing, that verification, the verification in that we saw about a walkthrough, inspection, and reviews. Here, that all things will be documentation things only. Okay, and the documentation thing will be changed, and here they will get to know that things are going properly or not. Okay, then validation occurs after the verification and mainly involve the checking of overall product. So we can say the documentation or the reports we generated in a verification phase, that is nothing but an input for validation phase, right. So documentation which the report we generated, that report are matched with the exact output or with the exact product. They matching the same report, or the matching the same expected or actual value are coming out or not. So these things will be checked in this phase. Okay. So we can say this, that the verification reports or documentations, whatever the reports are generated, are nothing but a input for validation phase, right. Then done by developers. Okay, these things done by developers, and this thing done by tester, right. Then it has a static activities. So verification is static activity because there is no automation tool over we are using over here, right. It's completely depend upon the this reviews, walkthroughs, and inspection to verify the software. Okay, it's a static thing because there is no, again I'm saying this, there is no software interaction, or there is nothing will be like some software is there and we just put on the report and you will get out, like nothing, these things nothing will happen. But the validation process is a dynamic process because we are actually using the automation tools, and we'll get the expected values. You can compare the values of actual expectations values and actual report, what we will get at the end of the testing. So here we will get the clear picture of about the software or about the product. That's why it's called a dynamic activity. Several testing will happen over here. Then it is an objective process and non-subjective decision should be needed to verify a software. Okay, so decision should be needed. It means the organization or top level people only decided that whatever the documentation given by the developer, or what the things will be done by the developer or other teams, are verified by the top level management, and then only it will go for developing things. And on that basis only they will go with the validation process. It is a subjective process and involves subjective decisions on how well the software works. Here only we will get to know about the quality of software. Okay? Here we can just predict the software will be done like this and that. So prediction will be done here only, but actual picture of that The quality of that product will be defined in the validation process only. So next is type of software testing. There are two types of software testing, that is manual testing and automation testing. The manual testing is one of the most fundamental testing process, as it can find both visible and hidden defects of a software. Again, this defects and all will be find out as per the customer requirement and specification thing. The difference between the expected output, okay, that expected output and the output given by the software is defined as a defect. The output given by the software, it means the actual software, actual output, what we'll get after executing that software. Okay. The expected output is already, we know that expected output is defined by the customer requirement only, and that is what we are expecting should become in the actual output. If this is not happen, then the defect is there. The developer fixed the defects and handed it to the tester for a retesting. So, if the defects come in actual output, then the report will be generated, and that report will be given to the developer, and then developer work on that report, work on that defect, and then again the same thing will given to the tester for retesting. This is what actually done in a manual testing. What about the automation testing? Automation testing, or automated, or we can call it as a test automation, is a software testing technique that perform using special automated testing software tools. I told you about this. Some software testing tools are open source, and some what we have to pay to execute a test cases suite. On the contrary, manual testing is performed by a human sitting in a front of computer, carefully executed test steps. So manual testing is like running the software, live software in front of tester, and tester will check the software is running properly or not. Is it the login page is working properly or not? Submit button is working properly or not? All these things will actually lively checked by the manual tester, which automation testing is differently work. So, manual testing is include testing of software manually, like without using any automation tools or any scripting. This is a type that tester takes over the role as an end user. Like end user only, he will check the software, and they tested the software in to identify any expected behavior or bugs, unexpected behavior or bugs. Like there are different stages of manual testing, such as unit testing, integration testing, system testing, and user acceptance testings. All done, all things will be done in a manual testing. And the automation testing is nothing but the it's like a it's we can call it a test automation, and it is a practice of running a test automatically. Okay, then managing the test data or utilization of result to improve the software quality. It's a primarily a quality assurance measures. So, but the activity involves in the commitment of the entire software production team, from business analyst to developer, and um, anything will be done through the software only. So, there are I can give an example of automation tools, software automation tools like Jira is there. It's a web application, and JMeter is there, which is open source. We can download it and we can check the number of we can increase the number of users and check the loading, how the loading will be managed. User loading will be managed by the software. And another thing is AWP Pro, that another software is there, so that we can find out the load of the any web application or any desktop software. So how much load it will be handled and everything, the stress will be handled and everything will be done in automation testing. These are the references from that where I got the whole idea about the software testing. This video is for educational purpose only. No copyright infringement. This copyright belongs to the rightful owner. Credit goes to the respective editor and a video music composer. For the more videos, please visit the Rare Knowledge Bank YouTube channel. Thank you so much.